Life doesn't owe you anything, that's the truth. The world doesn't care about your feelings, your excuses, or your pity parties. But you know who does, God, and He's not here to play games. He's here to build warriors. Too many people waste energy trying to control what's outside of their reach. Outcomes, opinions, timing, people. That's weakness. That's a distraction. Winners focus on what they can control. Losers panic about what they can't. You're not God. Accept that. Your job is not to manipulate the universe into giving you what you want. Your job is to become the version of yourself who can handle the door when it opens. You want God to bless you with more. Then start mastering the little you already have. Control your discipline, control your habits, control how you spend your time, who you allow in your space, and what you feed your mind. These are your weapons. These are your responsibilities. Everything else, God's got that. Worrying about what you can't control is spiritual arrogance. It's like telling God you don't trust Him to handle His part. You're overstepping. You're trying to play both roles, the worker and the architect, but it doesn't work like that. You prepare the field, He sends the rain. You train like a beast, stay ready, stay sharp, stay focused. And then He opens the right door at the right time. That's how it works. Anything else is fantasy. Look around. Most people are living in fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of time running out, and because of that fear, they freeze, they don't move. They sit on potential waiting for a sign, waiting for everything to feel safe or certain. Meanwhile, they waste years, but certainty is a lie. There's only one thing you can be sure of. If you do your part with 100% intensity, if you dominate the lane you've been given, if you don't fold when things get tough, God will not forget you. He sees every sleepless night, every silent sacrifice, every unseen step forward. So stop trying to figure out the whole map. You don't need to know what's 10 steps ahead. You just need to take the next one with everything you've got. That's power. That's control. You're not in charge of doors opening, but you are 100% in charge of whether you're ready when one does. Preparation is your job. Providence is His. You want peace. You want strength. Then draw the line. Handle your business, your body, your mind, your money, your mission. Leave the invisible battles to God. You were never designed to carry everything, but you were built to carry what's yours. Handle it with excellence. Handle it with courage. Handle it like a warrior who trusts the general's strategy even when you don't see the full battlefield. Let's call it what it really is. Worry isn't caution. It isn't wisdom. It's weakness in disguise. It's fear wearing a suit, pretending to be concern or realism. But deep down, it's the voice that says, "What if I fail? What if I'm not enough? What if it all goes wrong?" And that voice isn't there to protect you. It's there to paralyze you. It's there to stop you from becoming who you're meant to be. Worry is the illusion of control. It tricks you into thinking that if you obsess over the problem long enough, you'll find some magic answer. But you don't. All you find is fatigue, you find anxiety, you find wasted time. Worry never solved a single problem, not one. Action does, clarity does, strategy does. But worry just keeps you trapped in your own head, imagining scenarios that 99% of the time will never even happen. People who worry constantly are people who haven't yet realized their own power, or worse, people who don't trust that God is doing His part behind the scenes. That's the hard truth. Worry says, I have to figure this out on my own. I'm not sure I'll be okay. But strength says, even if I don't know how, I know who. And that changes everything. Because once you understand that worry is just an emotional addiction to fear, you stop feeding it. You start starving it. You start replacing it with movement, with discipline, with faith-fueled aggression. Most people have been conditioned to believe that worrying is a sign of care. If I don't worry, it means I don't take it seriously. Wrong. If you really cared, you'd act, you'd prepare, you'd train, you'd plan, but instead people pace around overthinking, procrastinating, complaining, and they call it being thoughtful. That's soft, that's a mental prison. And it's one of the biggest reasons people never step into their calling. Worry is also a thief. It steals focus. You can't build while you're doubting. You can't lead while you're panicking. You can't hear from God clearly when your mind is polluted with imaginary threats. That's the cost of worry. It robs your now with lies about your later, and if you let it, it becomes your identity. People wake up anxious, go to bed anxious, scroll through chaos, talk about fear, and then wonder why they feel powerless. The answer's obvious. You're feeding the weakness instead of killing it. Kill it, kill the habit, kill the inner narrative that plays the worst. Case scenario over and over in your head. Worry is not your friend. It is not your guide. It's the enemy wearing a friendly face. And every minute you spend bowing to it is a minute you're not building something better. Strong people don't get consumed with what might go wrong. They face forward, they focus on execution, they silence the noise and sharpen their mindset like a blade before battle. Because they know that the moment you stop making decisions based on faith and start making them based on fear, you've already lost. Here's a truth most people refuse to accept because it stings. Not every door will open for you. Not every opportunity is yours to claim, and that's not just reality, it's power. The moment you stop begging for every door to swing wide open is the moment you reclaim control over your life. Because here's what most people don't get. They think every closed door is a failure, a rejection, a sign they're not good enough, but it's not. It's a filter. It's God's way of steering you away from distractions, dead ends, and detours that would have wasted your time and energy. Imagine if every door opened, you'd be overwhelmed, lost, stuck juggling too many paths with no real focus. Instead, the universe closes the wrong doors to force you to narrow your path. This isn't punishment, it's protection. The power lies in understanding that some doors aren't meant for you because something better is waiting on the other side of the right door. And the right door is the one that fits your purpose, your vision, your highest potential. Think about it. Every no you get, every rejection, every shut door is a blessing in disguise. It means God is saying, not this way, not now. You don't have to waste your life chasing every lead that seems shiny or every opportunity that looks easy. No, you get to be selective. You get to develop the confidence to say, if this door doesn't open, it's because my door is still closed and it's better that way. That mindset separates winners from the crowd of desperate people knocking on every door hoping one will magically open. The power is in the patience and in the trust that the right door is coming, one that will open with ease, that will fit perfectly with who you are and what you were born to do. Not every opportunity is yours because your destiny is unique. When you try to force your way through every door, you dilute your energy, you get tired, you get distracted, you lose your edge. But when you wait for the right door, you conserve your strength, you sharpen your skills. You get smarter, you get ready. That readiness is a weapon. When the right door finally opens, you don't stumble through it. You storm through it. You don't hesitate. You dominate because you've prepared for this moment and you know without doubt this is where you belong. The closed doors beforehand, they were just the training ground, the elimination rounds, the refining fire. Also, not every door is meant for you because some people, places, and situations will hold you back, not push you forward. Recognizing that is power too. It means you're not desperate for acceptance or validation from every corner. You're not begging to be included where you don't belong. You're building your empire on your terms, aligned with your values and your vision. So don't waste time trying to force open a door that's meant to stay closed. Don't sell yourself short by chasing every option that looks easy or popular. Not every door is for you, and that's the most powerful advantage you can have. It means you're focused, selective, and destined for something bigger than temporary success. You're waiting for the right door to open, and when it does, you'll know it instantly because it'll change everything. Let's get one thing straight. Faith alone won't get you anywhere. Praying for success while sitting on your hands is fantasy. Believing that everything will just fall into place without effort is delusion. Faith is powerful, but faith without hustle is nothing but empty hope. If you want the universe to open doors for you, you better be working your damn ass off while you wait. There's no shortcut. There's no magic pill. You have to move, grind, and prove you deserve the blessings you're asking for. Here's the brutal truth many people don't want to hear. God helps those who help themselves. You think prayers alone will pay the bills. You think hope alone will build your empire. No, faith is your foundation. Hustle is the bricks and mortar. You lay one without the other, and the whole thing crumbles. The strongest warriors in history didn't just pray. They trained. They prepared, they sacrificed, they took brutal hits and got back up. Their faith gave them the fire, but their hustle fueled the victory. Too many people fall into the trap of waiting for divine intervention as an excuse to be lazy. I'm just waiting for the right moment. God will provide so I don't have to do much. That's not faith, that's procrastination disguised as spirituality. The right moment rarely just shows up. The right moment is created by relentless effort, by showing up when no one's watching, by grinding through the pain, the doubts, and the setbacks. Faith without hustle is just a fantasy, a daydream that leaves you stuck exactly where you started. If you really believe God will open doors, then show him you're ready to walk through them. That means working on your skills every day. That means making sacrifices others won't. That means pushing past exhaustion, rejection, and failure with an unbreakable mindset. You don't get to call yourself a person of faith if you're not also a person of action. They go hand in hand like two engines driving the same car. Look at every success story, whether it's business, sports, art, or leadership, and you'll see faith and hustle locked together. Nobody gets to the top by praying from the couch. They get there because they're in the gym at dawn, in the office late, studying, practicing, improving. They have faith that their hard work will pay off, but they don't sit around hoping. It's about doing. Hustle is the proof of faith. It's the signal you send to the universe that you're serious, that you're committed, that you refuse to quit. Also, faith without hustle is dangerous because it builds false security. It tells you, don't worry, everything will be fine, while you do nothing. That kind of faith is passive, weak, and ineffective. Real faith motivates you to act, to overcome, to fight for what's yours. It turns fear into fuel and doubt into determination. It demands that you put in the work so when opportunity knocks, you're the only one ready to answer. Faith without hustle is useless because the world rewards effort. It rewards consistency, it rewards resilience. God might open the door, but if you're not prepared to walk through with strength and purpose, that door means nothing. Your hustle sharpens your faith, and your faith ignites your hustle. One without the other leaves you weak and waiting. One of the hardest lessons to accept is that life doesn't run on your schedule. You want success now, you want results yesterday, you want doors open on your terms. But timing is divine, not convenient. This means the universe, God, or whatever higher power you believe in operates on a level beyond your calendar, your deadlines, your expectations. That can be frustrating as hell, but it's also liberating if you understand it. You have to stop thinking the world owes you immediate answers. It doesn't. It owes you nothing. What you get when you get it is all a part of a bigger plan you can't fully see. Timing isn't about convenience, it's about precision. The right opportunities don't show up just because you want them to or because you think you're ready. They show up exactly when the conditions are perfect, when you're truly prepared, when the pieces align, when your next step won't just be a move but a breakthrough. This kind of timing doesn't care about your frustration or your impatience. It doesn't care if you feel like you're stuck or if the world seems to be moving faster than you. Divine timing is ruthless in its discipline. It demands patience, resilience, and the ability to trust in something bigger than your immediate desires. It's not about waiting passively either. It's about grinding silently, preparing quietly, and showing up consistently without the need for instant gratification. Think about the people who succeed massively. They didn't get lucky. They didn't just stumble into success overnight. They put in the work for years before the world noticed. They hit door after door of rejection, closed windows and delays. But they kept their faith in the timing. They understood that sometimes you have to fight battles that no one sees, train when no one applauds, and stay ready when no one believes. That's divine timing in action. Waiting for the right timing is not an excuse to stop working. It's a command to keep preparing until your moment arrives. You don't control the clock, but you control your hustle and your mindset while you wait. That's power. If you try to force the timing to fit your convenience, you risk rushing into the wrong opportunities, making bad decisions, and burning bridges. The wrong timing can ruin good things, but the right timing can turn the smallest chance into a life-changing moment. Divine timing means there's a perfect season for everything. Seasons of planting, seasons of growth, seasons of harvest. And trying to skip steps just delays your breakthrough. You might feel like you're losing time, but you're actually building a foundation. You're becoming stronger, wiser, more capable. When the door opens, you'll walk through it with confidence because you didn't rush the process. You respected the timing. The frustrating part is that divine timing often feels inconvenient. It demands patience in a world that values speed. It forces you to wrestle with uncertainty in a culture that craves certainty. It asks you to trust a process you can't see, and that's hard. But that trust is what separates those who settle for average from those who dominate. Timing isn't about what you want. It's about what you're ready for. And you're only ready when the divine says so. When you accept that timing is divine, you stop wasting energy fighting the clock. You stop chasing doors that aren't meant to open yet. You focus on your growth, your craft, your mindset, and you let the universe do its part. That's strength, that's wisdom, that's the path to victory.